All right, we're going to go back and continue on the model. And on this demo, I'm going to go ahead and explain the generators. And then the next demo, we're going to explain more of the information that goes into the objects and the relationships and stuff. From the model, we have all these defined generators. The first one is to generate the object classes. These are basically the POJO type, as they call it, objects that are also set up so that they're are data bound or work through an ORM layer to work with the database backend. There's the model classes that it generates. The model classes are basically classes that take the objects and have them configured together to use within a model. And it's basically pre-wired, you know, setting all them up. So based on your model, how they all work together. It's already in the objects. It just takes it to the next level to make it the model within a model view control type environment. The data source ORM is the object relational map that goes between this model and the database structure. SQL script will actually generate the DDL for the complete database. The SQL changes script, once the database is already created and you make changes to your model, it will automatically track all those changes and generate a script to that you can run to update your database to match your new changes. Data generator is something that will generate application data for testing and stuff like that. So we can use that for you know, just performance testing, for, you know, just running automated tests and stuff like that, so we don't have to write all this code that mocks up the data and stuff like that. The JFC swing application, this will take the model and create the whole swing app, and it's not a CRUD only type of application. It's pretty much a full-blown application, and our goal within that application is we touch no code. I mentioned earlier that the model has 100% of our code in it. So because of that, and because of how it's all modeled out, and because of how we do this code generation, which I'll discuss here in a second, is it's able to generate the full app, and it lays it out in the way of exactly how we define it in the model. And when we run the app and we don't like something or we want to change something, we go and change the model and regenerate it, and we have it. So no custom code, and that makes it really easy for us to go back and change the model without hating it, hating the amount of work that we know we're going to have to do. So within all this generation, it allows us to easily, you know, go through and, you know, change some names, split some stuff out, you know, change the data types or whatever we want to do, refactoring type things within our model, which again is our application. So it's not just part of our model, it's also how the whole application is going to work, and it makes it very painless. Mostly what we have to do is just rerun these generators, and we have it, run the DDL update script to our database, and then we're on board. And it's funny because I do that a lot, especially as we're going through an application, working on the next piece and expanding out and fine-tuning how it all works. And it's funny how much we now dread even doing that, which is nothing compared to what we had to do before. The OA template files, and as we go through the structure of the application, the OA templates is its own project called OA template. It's a full application that has a full framework of everything you need in the application, like we showed in one of the demos showing this whole hi-fi project working. But it's basically an empty shell, and it has a login, it has all the other features and stuff like that, but there's nothing when you get into it as far as, you know, what we see here in all this model. What the purpose of that is that's the model that we go into and we expand out functionality that we want to include into our application. And one example is, what kind of login do we want? What kind of control do we want our login? What do we want to do with our log records, sizing wise? At what level we're logging? At what parts of the application are we logging at more of a finer than we are at other parts of the application? All that control is stuff that you want to have and be able to do in your application. when it's running, but there's lots of things like that within an application, lots of features and stuff that make it complete. Well, this OA template project allows us to build that in there, kind of beat it up a little bit and try it out maybe on some other applications and stuff like that, or inherit it from another application. And it ends up always being our model, our model framework, or so to speak, our template, I guess. And what that gives us is something that we can automatically reuse in all our applications. How it's used here in the generator is that template application is set up so that it's the template. So whenever we use it in another application, this program here that will run will automatically take that template project, and it knows what to customize and brand, or whatever you want to call it, for this application. So it knows in certain places it's not going to call it OA template, it's going to call it high five. It knows what the package structure, it knows what images to use. Again, the model information that's in here, the template files that are there, that merges those together, personalizes, or however you want to call that, for this model. And again, it's just another approach that we can go in and build another model, get all the same benefits, and it's personalized for a whole nother project, and it's done in the exact same way.